Welcome to Against the Spread, where we pick the NFL games this week against the spread. If you're right here on YouTube, on sportsnet.ca, we're going to have all the picks, so make sure you go to the site to find those out. Also, make sure you go to his Twitter account because you will see the avatar.
Or don't, you know.
No, do. You'll get enjoyment out of it like I did. His avatar is, I'll say, Cowboys inspired. That's a tease. Make sure you go see it. The reason is because the Cowboys won again against your Eagles. We're going to have a discussion about both those teams in this segment. Let's start with the Cowboys. Going to the Colts, 55% of the public likes them to win, even though Indy is the -3 favorite at home. Who do you like?
I think this is the week that the Cowboy streak comes to an end. And it's not just because I'm super bitter that my face is on their logo. It's really because of the way that the Colts play at home and Dallas has played on the road. The Colts score almost 32 points a game at home, and Dallas has struggled. They've won their last 2 games on the road, but they were 0-4 before that. And I do have some questions about Dak Prescott and how he runs that offense, despite the role that they've been on. He turned the ball over 3 times last week against a really, banged up Eagles defense, and he got sacked 5 times. So on the road, I don't have faith that they can continue to score points at the pace that the Colts will. So I like the Colts by 3.
Surprisingly, I agree. I also like the Colts by 3, specifically because this game is at home, where they are a different team at Lucas Oil. And I feel like Dallas is a different team on the road, other than when they're playing the Philadelphia Eagles, than they are at home. And so because of that, I like the Colts as well. Our next matchup is of 2 teams where I can't figure out what they're going to look like from week to week. The Miami Dolphins go to the Minnesota Vikings. This number started at 7. It's now at 7.5. Still, though, the public likes the road Dolphins. Who do you like?
I like the road Dolphins as well, and it has a lot to do with the Vikings' struggles on offense. They fired their offensive coordinator this week in John DeFilippo, but I don't expect a change until I see it on the field. Until they can show me that they can make a difference. They haven't played well on offense since beating Green Bay a couple weeks ago, and I don't think they've put up more than 300 yards. Now, it is coming against a Dolphins team that has struggled on the road, but they're a pesky team. They create a lot of turnovers, and they've been much better with Ryan Tannehill on the field, so I don't expect them to win, but I think they'll keep it close within that 7.5-point range.
Yeah, this one is tough for me because the one thing we know about the Vikings is that they don't play well against teams with a record 500 or better. They haven't beaten any of them yet this year. The surprising thing, and so surprising that I messed this up when we taped this earlier, is that the Dolphins somehow do have a record above 500.
Doesn't feel like they should be there, but they're
there. It doesn't feel like it at all. And so even though the fact that they're 7-6 has something to do with the fact that play in a bad division other than the Patriots. And for some reason, Bill Belichick thought Rob Gronkowski would be a good safety.
Right.
I still actually am going to pick the Dolphins like you because I think 7.5 points is too much for Minnesota, even at home. The Patriots going to the Steelers. This line started at -2. It's now -3. Do you like the road favorite in New England?
I think I do like them here, and it's tough because the Patriots, maybe their one weakness this season has been playing on the road. They've really struggled there, whereas at Foxborough they're unbeatable. But they're coming up against a Steelers team that is playing so poorly, and it's surprising considering they had a win streak going earlier this season. But Big Ben is now dealing with an injury apparently. James Conner might be back, but he's injured. So I like the Patriots to go in, especially after a loss. I don't know what Bill Belichick's exact record is after a loss, but it's got to be good. So I expect them to go in there, make a statement, and the Steelers might fall out of first place in their division, surprisingly.
Yeah, and originally I was like, oh my goodness, the Steelers, they can't lose again after that bad loss in Oakland. But then when I looked at it, I was like, well, are the Patriots going to lose again after a bad loss against the Dolphins? And I think the mystique of Heinz Field is kind of leaving. The Chargers went in there on the road and got a big win. I think the Patriots can do the same. And Bill Belichick wants to make you one-dimensional. He wants to make you play left-handed. He doesn't really have to try that hard to do it because they haven't been able to run the ball since James Conner was hurt. So even if he comes back and isn't 100%, I think Belichick and that defense will have a day against the Steelers, who need to score points to win. Normally, the Sunday Nighter, which is now better than the Monday Nighter in my opinion, it's a close game. Close line, not the case this week. Your Philadelphia Eagles going to the LA Rams. This line started at -9. It is now 11.5. It's a lot of points in a primetime game. Too many points for you?
Too many points for me, yeah. The Eagles have burned me plenty of times, as we've seen here on the show, but I don't like the spread for a couple of reasons. Foles is coming in. He knows that offense. He's arguably the best backup in the league, so I expect them to compete on offense and maybe get a boost because Wentz has been playing hurt with that fractured vertebrae in his back. So I expect the Eagles' offense to be a bit better, and the Rams just don't cover. In the last 10 games, they're 2-7-1 against the spread, so why would I take them 11.5 on a Sunday night game that, as you say, could be contested closely? See,
when you mentioned coverage, I look at this game and I worry about the Philadelphia Eagles back end, which is getting healthier and getting better, but still I expect Goff to have a bounce back week and the Rams to be able to put up points. Having said that, I don't know if they're going to be able to put up 40 or 35 to outscore what the Eagles may put up against their defense by 11.5. So I am going to go with the Eagles. I don't necessarily feel great about it.
I never do at this
I could be watching on Sunday night regretting it, but I think it's the safer play with your money. The Monday nighter looks like a good game on paper. I don't know if it actually will be one. New Orleans going to Carolina, who's really struggling. This number, for some reason, started at 6.5. It's come down to 6. Do you like the road Saints or Carolina to figure things out as they try and make a late playoff push?
I don't see Carolina figuring this out. So I think the Saints go in, they win dominantly, they wrap up that first round bye, and the Panthers are basically eliminated from any conversation when it comes to the playoffs. The Saints have struggled a bit on offense. That second half in Tampa Bay, they bounced back and scored 28 straight points to win that game. But against a Panthers defense that's reeling, and then Cam Newton's hurt, they can't really move the ball well, and you can see it like as the game progresses, Cam Newton getting worse and worse. That shoulder's really bugging him, so I think the Saints defense will have an answer for that, and I think the offense will put together a complete game for the first time in weeks.
Yeah, if this line was similar to the other primetime game this week and was a 9, 11.5-ish number, I wouldn't think that's crazy. And so if you're giving the Saints to me at not even 6.5 anymore, but 6 points, a touchdown, I'll take that for sure. Now, what I won't be giving you, and maybe I should be asking you for advice, is Survivor picks, because we were both out.
Yeah,
so if you are still alive in your Survivor pool, well, good on you. Congratulations.